Hey guys, welcome back to another new video. Today we're going to be talking about the Elgato green screen. Now the green screen does measure out to 58 inches wide by 70 inches tall, which might not seem that big to some people, but for people like gamers and streamers and stuff like that, it is pretty much the perfect size of what you're using it for. Now if I stand all the way back to this thing and spread my arms out, you can see that my hands go over a little bit, which might seem like a big deal to some people, but realistically it's not that big of an issue, because what you're going to want to do is basically you're going to want to stand or sit over to one side, and then this is going to be my corner that gets cut off, so I don't really have to worry about my arm extending over this way and being off the frame. My main concern is this side right here, and as you can see I have plenty of room now. If I put my hand up, I am actually touching the top of it right here. Now if you're looking into a cheap way to do this, this is definitely not it. I've seen some people do things like construction paper, just like green construction paper on the wall, and while that does work, you're taking up permanent wall space for a green background. You have to get it really flat so that way it doesn't have any shadows. It's not getting any light deflections and stuff like that on it. I myself for the longest time was using this green curtain right here on a rod, and what really sucked is if you didn't have it tightened down on both sides and just stretched out, it had like wrinkles and stuff like that in it. You can see like the dark spots in it. And when you're trying to key out stuff like that, it's just a pain in the ass. You constantly have to iron something like this so that way it doesn't get wrinkles in it. And then that's like with mine also. Mine came with the poles long enough to go over 7 feet. And as you can see by the crappy edge of this, I cut it down to around the same size as this Elgato green screen, just because I didn't need to take up that much space for a green screen. It just seemed kind of redundant. Now for some people, they do want to do bigger stuff. They want to do full frame stuff. And I mean, I can sit here and stand in front of this thing, and I have plenty of room. Your main limiting factor is going to be your arm reach. So as long as you're staying in the bounding box of this thing, you should be pretty good. And now that I finally get to test this thing out myself, because Amazon has been constantly out of stock with these things, they've just been selling out every time they get them back in stock. I can tell you that the quality is actually really, really good on this thing. I was actually surprised at how high quality it is. The fabric is really good. It lets light pass through pretty good, so that way you don't have random deflections off of the green screen and stuff like that. The color is a little bit brighter than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be more close to like this color, but as you can see, it's more of like a lime color, I guess you would call it, which realistically isn't a problem. If anything, it actually catches a little bit more when I try to chroma key something out. All right, now let's get to the main part of this green screen, which is the mobility point of it. Like I said earlier, some people put up like construction paper and stuff like that, and it'll just take up a spot on the wall. With this, you don't have that problem. You just take it, push it down, it's spring loaded. You can just put it back into its casing, lock the latches on it. It's got a little handle on it. You pick it up, carry it, stick it away somewhere. It takes less than 5 minutes to set this whole thing up. You literally just undo 2 latches, unfold the cover, and pull this thing up to whatever height you need it at. It stays pretty good. I've tried to put it at different heights and see if it like drops or anything like that. It doesn't need to be fully extended. You can have it half extended if you wanted to. So if you're somewhere with limited height or something like that to where you can't fully extend it, it shouldn't be a problem for you. Now, 2 things to note when I didn't think about buying this thing is the size of the overall casing is about 5 inches by 5 inches, but it's about 64 inches long. So you need to make sure that you have somewhere that you can slide this thing in. I mean, obviously, once you have it all pushed down and everything like that, it doesn't take up a lot of height space, but it does take up a little bit of length. So you definitely need to find somewhere to put that. Another thing is, it's not that heavy. It only weighs about 20 pounds, but it definitely weighs a little bit more than I thought it would, just because I didn't take into consideration the springs and everything like that on it. But by no means is it in any way heavy. Everybody should be fine just carrying this thing around. I just thought that would be something to note because it's not something I personally thought of. And one thing to note too, if you don't realize this, because I actually seen somebody do this already, there is feet on the bottom of it that you take and you turn so that way the unit doesn't fall over when it's fully extended. I've seen a video of some streamer taking this thing, fully extending it, sitting down in their chair, and it came falling over on top of them. With these feet out, that's not going to be an issue. So if you've seen the same video I did, it's not a problem. But I'm going to quickly zoom the camera out, take this thing, put it away, put it back up, and show you guys how fast you can do it. But as you can see, setup and removal of this thing is actually really, really simple. Like I said, it takes less than 5 minutes to set it up and to take it back down. So you shouldn't have any issues there, you just need a place to store it. One thing I did want to mention that I doubt Elgato is okay with, and I'm not going to show you my solution for this because it was definitely not a proper or a safe way to do this. But if you're somebody that wants to take this thing and say ceiling mount it so that way you can just pull it down whenever you're ready for it but have it in a set spot, you could do that. It definitely works like that. I had no issues taking it, undoing the latches and pulling it down, and had zero issues with it staying in place. I didn't have any problems putting it back up. But like I said, I don't think Elgato meant for this to be a feature, and if you do something like that, you're obviously going to lose the mobility of it, unless you come up with some solution to where you can latch it and then pull it back down. I don't know. Anyways, I just wanted to let you guys know that it could be possible if you did it the right way. Oh, I did also want to note that on the ground, I did have one issue closing this. Only one time. When I went and put it down, I put it down way too fast, and I guess it just didn't lock into place all the way. When I tried to close the cover over, it just wouldn't latch, like it wouldn't close all the way. So if that happens to you, like I said, it's only happened to me one time, and I played with this a good bit before I did this video. But if that does happen to you to where you put it down too fast and it just doesn't go in all the way, just pull it up slightly and push it back down. It should snap right back into place, and then the cover should close. I just wanted to mention that in case anybody else has an issue like this. But with all that said, if you guys have any questions for me, leave them down in the comments. Like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you want to see more stuff like this, and I will see you guys next time.